Welcome back. Hello, how are you guys doing? I've had a long week. I'm not gonna lie. I ended up having a biopsy done after a mammogram. So here's your friendly reminder to go do that. So that was a little bit stressful, but turns out everything's fine, just like she thought it was. So better safe than sorry. And now we can move forward from that. Also, I live in a really small neighborhood, but you guys, there are people mowing and using the leaf blower nonstop. It never ends. I don't even know how many or how there are this many yards to keep using one on. I feel like we could have completed the entire town at this point. So if you do hear that in the background, I apologize. Okay, we are talking about abandonment today, and lovely light topic. And I want to give you guys some tips on how to begin healing that wound because it is a gaping wound. Let's be real. If you can think in your own life, I know for me, a lot of the healing I still have yet to do and that I continue to work on, when I boil it down to its most, I don't know how to say that, to the root of what I think causes all of it, it is an abandonment wound for me. It always leads back to abandonment. All the things that I'd like to change, all the things I'd like to heal, the mindset, the feelings, just all of it, all trace back to abandonment. So I know it's not only me, it's something that my clients are dealing with as well. And other workers in the field share with me how it's coming up for them and all of their clients as well. So this is a real topic that a lot of people are struggling with. And yeah, let's talk about how this shows up just in your life or what you might be feeling. I guess symptoms might be a good word, but again, I'm not a therapist. I am a life coach, but that's, I don't diagnose or treat or anything like that. So symptoms doesn't feel like the right word, but more just evidence of this showing up in your life. And you don't have to have some major abandonment event that just defines who you are and everyone knows about it because it was so bad. It doesn't have to be anything like that for you to still be carrying an abandonment wound. So let's get that out of the way first. It can come from really, simple things that just happen as part of life and that are out of the box. So I would really, if you think, oh, I don't deal with that, you might want to research that a little bit and see where that can come from. So you can just have awareness in case you are maybe also dealing with it as well. So some signs that there could be an abandonment wound. Let's start at the top. So feelings of shame and guilt without explanation. I describe this, it's like you just carry it. It's just always, like if you carried a purse, right? It's always in the purse. It's just there. It goes everywhere with you. If you're a guy, maybe you've got a pair of sunglasses that you love and it's just like you put them on everywhere you go, right? It's just always there. Maybe you experience excessive shyness. You've heard me talk about that before. People-pleasing behaviors, like wanting to be liked. Ding, ding, ding. Unexplained fear. Feeling like it's your job to fix other people and their problems. A fear of rejection. Emotional withdrawal. Difficulty trusting others. Feeling unloved and unwanted. I'll throw this in there as well. I use this phrase a lot too. Feeling chronically out of place. Seeking consistent reassurance from other people. Trying to please others so they are happy with you and they stick around. Also known as controlling the outcome. Giving too much in a relationship. And I would add to that, just this would be on a consistent basis. Like people that know you know that you do that, right? It's not a one and done. This would be a pattern in your life. Maybe you push people away by being too clingy. You can also be on the flip side of that, side note of, avoiding things as well. So maybe you stay in unhealthy relationships for a fear of being alone. Have you ever had one of those? I'm sorry, my mind is wandering. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've got a friend, maybe it's a coworker, whatever, wherever this stems from, but you know this person and you know the dynamic's not healthy. Okay, let's say every time they call you, they just only talk about themselves and their problem and want you to like sympathize and stuff, but they never ask how you're doing ever. That would be an example. And you know it, but you don't want to say anything. You never exit the relationship. You never speak up to say how you feel about that or try to change the dynamic in any way because you'd rather have that friend than have no friends, right? Avoiding conflict so you don't get hurt. All right, so when we carry this wound, it impacts our relationships. And that's what I want to focus on today is how abandonment impacts our relationships with other people and with ourselves. I will talk about how it impacts other areas of our life in future episodes as well. But this is what I wanted to focus on today. So when we talk about abandonment impacting our relationships, it can be very difficult, again, to leave unhealthy relationships. Relationships may lack emotional intimacy or vulnerability. The default is to prioritize others above yourself. You surround yourself with people who are needy or unstable. I'm sorry, again, side note, do you always have a person like that in your life? I mean, personally, I can look back on my life. I always had somebody like that in my life. Very obviously, there was no hiding that until I decided I was done with that at one point. But it wasn't always the same person, but there was always somebody that fit that criteria that I allowed. It also shows up as struggling with loneliness or the ability to connect with other people. And abandonment also impacts how we view ourselves, like our relationship with ourselves. More specifically, if we make it more simple, it would be talking about our self-worth. It greatly impacts our self-worth. When you carry that wound, you stop trusting your instincts. People-pleasing becomes your default. You begin to hide parts of yourself. Perfectionism takes root. The voice of self-criticism and judgment become the inner authority. You know what I'm talking about. I've talked about that self-critic voice before that you just constantly hear in the back of your mind. You stop honoring or sharing your needs. You suppress your feelings. You disconnect from your core values. You stop standing up for yourself. Your relationships have codependency in common. We need to start showing up for ourselves, which can be hard when we don't know how to do that. Or for some, even what that would feel like. You may not even know what that feels like. So I want to give you 4 tips to start using today to begin your own healing journey. If you're a self-led healer and you are ready to start taking steps towards that, here are 4 things that you can do starting now to begin to soothe and heal that abandonment wound. I'm just going to let you know, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. If you're brand new to this, it's not going to feel good. It's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be hard. But at the same time, it's the best work you can ever do, and it will be so worth it. So, number 1, reconnect with your feelings. Take time each day to pause and reflect on how you are feeling and how you were feeling. This is not easy, especially if you are so disconnected from yourself and you have spent a lifetime repressing emotions and not saying how you feel, not speaking your needs. It's like a boat that has drifted off to sea and you cannot see that shoreline anymore and you don't even know which direction to go, right? That was me. And there's that laugh again, that deflecting laugh. When I began to try to figure out what I was feeling and begin to connect with that, I was left speechless. I could not do it. I really struggled. And this was with professional help. So I was working with a therapist at the time. So she suggested that I look up it's called a emotions wheel, or you can look up wheel of emotions. It's an actual chart. It is a circle and it's sectioned off into groupings of happy emotions or sad or anxious sections. And anyway, it lists all kinds of emotions. And I 100% had to use that chart as I was getting started with reconnecting to my emotions, to look on there and try to figure out what I might be feeling. If you need to do that, it's okay. There's no shame in that. And please know that resource is out there and it's very helpful while you're first getting started in the process. So our feelings flourish when we get present with them and allow them. Only when we feel the feels are they able to move through us and out of us, where we can release them. Another useful tip is, this is a big struggle for you. First, you want to learn to even be in the present moment. It can help if you pause, you look around you. What do you see? Well, I see my laptop. What else do you see? I see my tennis shoes sitting over there, and I see my shower door off in the distance because I'm hiding in my closet to record today's episode. That took my brain from thinking in the future, thinking in the past. It brought it to this present moment. So that's a really helpful tool to get in your body and start to connect with your feelings. Once you have named your feeling, you want to ask yourself, what do I need right now? So just for an example, putting this together, it would sound like, I'm just picking an emotion. I'm feeling sad. What do I need right now? I didn't say this would be easy, right? You're going to have to connect with those feelings and ask yourself, what do you need right now? As a way to honor them, right? allowing these difficult feelings can be even harder than learning to be present in the first place. So it's easy to say, let me back it up. It's easy to say, I'm feeling happy. What do I need right now? Probably not very much, right? I'm good. Hard feelings is a whole different ballgame. That's why I chose to say, I'm feeling sad. What do I need right now? Because you're going to have to take inventory and ask yourself what that is and be willing to answer the question. It's going to take practice, and you may need additional tools that could help you. So using some calming music, maybe you journal. You can use meditation, affirmations, or breath work. Could be helpful to increase your ability to allow these difficult feelings to be felt and allow them to move through. So that was number one, again, reconnecting with your feelings. Number two is unearth your true self. Do the work to unearth your true self and begin taking small steps each day to show it to the world around you through your creative pursuits, through your personal style, through your interests, your core values, your passions, right? There are so many tools to begin that process. Of course, there's countless personality tests, and those are helpful in some ways, and what's the right word? I guess not helpful in other ways. They are a wonderful starting point. So if you have not begun the process to unearth your true self and discover who you are, it can be like a launch pad to start that process and see what resonates with you. The downside, if you ask me my personal opinion, is that they also can easily help you to stereotype yourself or box yourself in to a specific definition that somebody else came up with. So you got to watch out for that, because there's no one size fits all. There's no 4 sizes fit all. There's also no 9 sizes fit all. If you know personality tests, you know exactly which ones I'm talking about. Even ones that are more detailed with more combinations, just, always keep in mind, you may not fit that entire definition. So don't let it tell you what you should believe about yourself or who you are. Use your discernment. There's so many tools out there to use. That's for another day. Okay, so number 1 was reconnect with your feelings. Number 2, unearth your true self. It's going to take a lot of work. Number 3 is start expressing your needs. When you allow others to walk all over you, it is a form of self-abandonment. Functioning from the belief that you allow it because you are not worthy of anything better cultivates unhealthy relationships that ironically end up reinforcing this belief. We've talked about how to begin expressing your needs in a previous episode, so make sure to check that out. It was called Boundaries for Highly Sensitive People. So if you're needing help, it's there. I hope you get a chance to listen to that. And there's also, on that episode, it lists a free resource to help you to begin that process. If you are brand new to it, you need help in this. It's not easy. You want to start small. Again, I really suggest you listen to that episode. You find additional books or podcasts or whatever, YouTube, all the things, as well as professional help if you need to do that, because that was part of my personal journey as well. And yeah, take one step at a time, but you have to begin to speak up and express how you feel and what you need. So Number 1, reconnect with your feelings. Number 2, unearth your true self and start showing that to the world. Number 3, start expressing your needs. And here's the biggest one. Number 4 is rewrite your story. Here we go. Seek evidence to feel safe and believe that you are fully and constantly supported. Maybe you make a note on your phone, or maybe you grab one of those tiny little spiral notepads for your bag that you can write in or that you keep in your car. At the very least, you can pause and be present and be grateful for the moments that you see and experience evidence of support. So backing up, we're talking about abandonment, and when that is your experience, it's also the lens that you are doing life through. And I know this because I have experienced it. And so then it's almost like we're looking, that's what we're trained for, right? So we're looking for experiences where something goes away or disappears, or all the various ways that plays out, and then it reinforces that story of abandonment, the belief and just experience of that. So we want to begin to rewrite that. So you want to literally rewrite that, however is going to work for you. And instead of looking for abandonment, we are going to look for evidence of support. So you can use any paper to create this first list, but first you want to write down a list of any support that you do have on your journey. It could include doctors, therapists, coaches, teachers, support groups, friends, podcasts, YouTube channels, books. The list goes on and on. So take a moment, take inventory in your life and write down the sources of support that you have. And then also ask yourself, how can you utilize the support that you do have on this list? So now here's where those portable notes come in. This process is going to require you to be more present throughout the day, which is going to be a helpful practice in healing in itself. Being present is a good thing. So what do? We find evidence of support. This can vary for everyone, but here's a pretty good range of examples. Anything that you notice throughout your day, you're going to write this down. Maybe if you didn't all day, you can sit down at the end of the day and do it at the end of the day. It can be any form of support and stability and safety, right? Maybe it is the chair you are sitting in, the earth beneath your feet, a loving pet, the warm water of the bath or shower that always soothes and cleanses. It's the skin that protects us. It's always there. The constant cycle of seasons. The way that the sun always shines again after the clouds. The sunrise and the sunset. The water you drink. The way that your favorite blanket wraps you in warmth. Maybe you notice a sweet little synchronicity in your day. Maybe it's a moment where a prayer was answered. Or you think back to a time when you had all you needed exactly when you needed it. The possibilities here are endless, and it's going to be very different and very personal for everyone that makes a list. It's just, a very unique thing and what makes you feel supported and safe. And the purpose of rewriting our story is to change the lens we use to view ourselves and view our lives. Instead of putting on glasses that make everything look as though it may go away, reject us, or only support us if we please others and meet their needs, we start using a new set of glasses that help us see how supported we are, where that support comes from, and how we are worthy and safe and loved. I've got a few resources that may be helpful for you on your self-led journey as well. First up, I have made a YouTube video, Meditation for Abandonment Healing. It is a little bit different format. I will link it in the notes, and it incorporates forgiveness and healing affirmations based on the Hawaiian, I'm going to try to say this right, Ho'oponopono meditation. The Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian practice that involves forgiveness and reconciliation and healing. And you repeat these 4 phrases again, but I have added in all kinds of abandonment specific statements in there as well. But in general, first we're saying, I'm sorry, and it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. When we say I'm sorry, it is a way to ask forgiveness for all that you are aware of, and more importantly, not aware of, that could contribute to your current situation. Please forgive me. Asking forgiveness of your higher power clears and offers reconciliation. And you can also ask forgiveness of yourself if you are your own worst critic. If you are your own worst critic, as a way to release the burden that we put on ourselves. Thank you allows you to claim your healing in advance for allowing your negative thoughts or actions or emotions to be cleared. I love you is a way to radiate gratitude to your higher power and to cultivate self-love. So you can use these meditations daily as part of your own self-led healing journey. And I'm continuing to add to those each week. And next up, I wanted to pass along some journal prompts that are related to our topic today. If you are driving or you're otherwise occupied, you can reflect just in your mind and see what comes up for you. And then when it's available, it can be really helpful to go ahead and grab a paper and journal through these questions. So you may want to come back to it when you get time to do that, and just pop back over to the episode, and you can just scroll to the end because we are about to wrap up, and you'll find them again right there. So I'm going to pause in between these questions to give you time to reflect. If you're journaling, you may actually want to just hit pause because you may want more time than I give, but this is just going to include a quick moment of reflection. So I've got 5 different journal prompts for you. So number 1, when was the first time you remember feeling alone or abandoned? Number 2, how has the feeling of abandonment impacted your relationship with others? Number 3, in what ways do you abandon yourself or neglect your own needs? Number 4, what are some beliefs or thoughts that you have about yourself that stem from feelings of abandonment? Number 5, how do you cope with feelings of abandonment? Are these coping mechanisms helpful or harmful? By exploring the shadow side of abandonment, it allows us to see the light more clearly. I am so proud of you for doing the work that you're doing. Remember that who you are makes a difference in the world. And if nobody has told you lately, you are so awesome. You are such a beautiful human, and you belong here. If you would like to support my work, you can subscribe or give it a like, or most importantly, share it with somebody that you think it can help. And if you have a question or you have a story that you would like to share, make sure to email me at coachin405@gmail.com. That's 405, not 40. I guess I should clarify that. It'll be in the notes. If you would like any additional free resources or have interest in me being your personal coach, you can visit my website. It is heathercooper.co. Until next time, I appreciate you.